Hey traders, quick note about Netflix. They reported after hours and the reaction was spike to 365, down to 335. My take, I wanted to record it today because I wanted to give it to you unobstructed by thinking about it overnight. So there is nothing good about this report from my perspective. I'm not a hater of the company. I'm just looking at it from the selling point of Netflix, the stock. Okay. I do enjoy their shows, and here's the point. This is a growth stock, meaning it runs fast in either direction, meaning when I'm looking at a growth stock, I don't evaluate. They call, I can't buy a valuation. It's like, it's a growth company. You don't look at valuation from the PE. I don't look for it to be profitable. I want it to grow. That's what it promises, mega growth. They are adding a lot of subs, but they missed on the sales, on the subs. They even guided lower. And now they mention competition, where before he said, I only compete with sleep. That's pretty cocky. First of all, I don't like him for that. He's just too, you don't hear Bezos saying anything like that, even when he dominates the world. So somebody that is oblivious to their competition will get blindsided. I have no doubt in my mind. Who's competing with them? Everybody. First, there was Disney. They pulled their plug. Disney no longer sends its programming there. They're going to be on. HBO has its own TNT. Everybody have their own, $5 here, $10 there. Yes, Netflix, whatever it costs, $15, whatever it is not a big deal. It will be a big deal. When I'm cutting the cord, which I am, I'm looking, okay, I pay $80 for my cable right now, just the cable aspect of it, the programming. I'm going to Google, which is $40. Well, I'm not going to pay for Netflix on top of that. I'm not that, content is good, but it's not that great, and I can find it for free somewhere else. So he's oblivious to his competition. There is competition. Back to the report itself. They missed on top and bottom line. They guided lower, and their expenses are going through the roof. And all they have now, the only ace in the hole is, as a lure, is content. They spend 13 to 15, I don't know what it's going to be for 2019. Last year, I think it was 13 or 18. There's a number like that. Billion a year. That's with a B to make the content. Yeah, it's great. I enjoyed Bird Box. But that is a lot of money to spend when you're losing money. So the bullish thesis is bruised today. And if I'm a bull, I have nothing to cheer about. And if I am cheering, I have blinders. I'm not being realistic. I bet you anything, the people that short it, I don't know, the high-profile people like Soros and company, they're adding to their position because those guys have a lot of money and they can short it until it breaks down. And they're not headed, Netflix is not headed to good places if that's the, last report was a good report. This was terrible. And they're trying to catch it, but it's failing. This is live. It's still trading right now after hours. They're trying to catch it, and it's failing. And I see any bounce to 344 tomorrow as a selling point, unless something develops overnight. I'm just looking at the price action here and the volume that's coming in at what levels. This was the value area of today. Any bounce towards 343 will probably sell. It will probably get sold into it. So I took a negative perspective on Netflix as a hedge for my overall portfolio as a lottery ticket. 40 earnings. It's not a lot of money, so I don't know what it's going to pay me tomorrow. I needed to follow 315 for it to be maximum profits, but I don't need it to do it today. I have another week or two onto it. So I'm not buying the dip on Netflix. Definitely, I am not buying the dip. This is a horrible report. I don't think it's going to be a one-day event unless the media does a great job selling it as, hey, there's good news here. I don't see any good news. Growth stocks, like Netflix, need to beat on the top line. Miss on the bottom line as much as you want. Beat on the top line, and on top of it, bring in the subscriptions because that's the only selling point that Netflix had. How many new subs they add globally, and that's kind of fading. And now he's talking about competition. I forget to finish that thought. He thought he was competing only with sleep not too long ago, and now he mentioned Fortnite. as competition. Well, what? Everybody thinks you already have competition, even you don't. Now you bring in something that nobody else is thinking about. This is like the Mnuchin thing. We're like, okay, we're all worried about China. And then he goes, okay, let's talk about liquidity of our banks. Wait a minute. Nobody was thinking about that. Same thing here. Fortnite, as his competitor, he opened a new door, a new reason for me to think about it as a short. I'm not going to short it, but I'm definitely not buying the dip. I may do it on a trading basis, but if you remember, this came from here. So a little dip here is nothing, and there are a whole bunch of open gaps down here. So this is fast money. Fast money comes in fast, leaves fast. This is just that 4-hour chart. I can zoom in on 30 minutes probably. Okay, so this is more recent action. And you can see, I mean, that's a gooseneck that could price out pretty quickly. I would not catch the falling knife in Netflix, and that's the bottom line. All right, Nick signing out.